Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Singaporean Talks Money. So today I'm going to be talking about your career and how it's just 1/8 of your life and why I find that I need to explore and find hobbies outside of work. So I recently came across this article from The Atlantic by Derek Thompson titled "Your Career is Just 1/8 of Your Life," and it gave some advice on what your career should be like and how you can optimize it. It is a short and interesting article. I will be writing and sharing about some points of the article that I found interesting and maybe also provide a summarized version. Also, I will share my personal thoughts as well on the various points. So to read the original article, do go to the link in the description below. So with so many TikToks and social media posts explaining why you shouldn't give your all to work, for example, quiet quitting and Tang Ping in China, we can see a lot of generalized advice being given out, and most being pretty brutal to working hard at building a career. The author works hard in his career and in his view to give a fresh graduate advice that a career is gonna suck even before they start is useless. So here are some pointers he saw which he hopes can be helpful in some way. So the first is that your career is not your life. My views are that from the pandemic, this view that your career is not your life has accelerated, and definitely so for those who are able to work from home. It seems that our career is not our life even if we spend majority of our time working. This is because most of us are exchanging our time and effort for our salary, and since being able to work from home has enabled us to reduce a lot of time that was previously used to commute, having meals, and even just spending time in the office fulfilling the standard 9 to 5 hours. We will all retire eventually, and that will be the time when we have a larger amount of time available, as we no longer need to work our corporate jobs and can take on more exciting ventures. So that will be then important to not place all emphasis on your career and making sure that you have interests or life outside of work. So the next pointer that he shared is to explore and then exploit. The author found that job hopping is the best way to ensure that you increase your income fast compared to staying at the one same company, as pay increments usually does not match the offer when you job hop. Job hopping also allows you to switch your job roles and find the best fit for yourself. Even though the author believes in switching to find the best fit, he hasn't job hopped and has actually held on to his current job as a writer for about 8 years. In explaining explore and then exploit, the author read a paper that found the conclusion. In a deep analysis of the careers of scientists and artists, he found that their hot streaks tended to be periods of focused and narrow work, following a spell of broader experimentation. This is sometimes called the explore-exploit sequence. The idea is that many successful people are like good Boy Scouts. They spend a lot of time searching for their space, and then they drill deep when they found the right niche. The author goes on to point out that even if you are like him, where you have stayed in a job for a long period, you can get out of your comfort zones, like switching your job roles, where you can change the things you're expected to do. Example, maybe take on a new project or suggest something that is new and can benefit the team to your manager, and you can complete that project. The next point that he brought up is don't do the job you want to tell other people you do. Instead, do the job you really want to do. This really relates to me, as I find that there are so many factors you need to consider before taking up a job than to just look at the title or just the salary or just the benefits. You need to really look at it as an overall package, as well as the company culture, the industry, and how your boss is like as well. The author had previously considered a job offer because of the amazing job title that came with it. However, after consulting with a fellow colleague, he realized that he was considering the job as he liked the title but wouldn't like the work, so he rejected it. At times, we would choose a job that is further or maybe more stressful just because it pays maybe $100 more. However, we don't factor in the time or exhaustion that will come with it. It is a fine balance to be able to find the perfect fit, but just know that no one factor should be the deciding factor unless the work really attracts you and it is what you want. So the fourth factor he gave was to be ruthlessly honest with yourself and what you value, and how much professional success matter to you. So let me share about my own experience. My mom always tells me that she could have advanced more in her career. However, she didn't like working overtime or staying in the office to leave after her boss. She told us that she liked starting her day early, completing the required work, and then just going back on time to spend time with us or to catch up on her interests and watching dramas. And I think she didn't really wanted to progress further in her career, whereby it would take up more of her time and more of her effort, as she was, to be honest, earning not a huge income, but just a comfortable one. There are some people who enjoy working like Xiao and feeling like achieving success in their career is what they want, while some value family time and time to unwind. So unnecessary overtime is uncalled for unless needed. To be honest, no one is wrong, as we all value different things. The author compared this to his love for a certain kind of wine. And if others don't enjoy it, it is alright, as it is personal taste. In that, he feels that ambition is the same, as it is not for everyone. If you are ambitious, definitely go for it. Otherwise, it is alright. And lastly, he said that flow comes from voluntary, difficult and worthwhile work. To be honest, when I start writing on a certain topic or article, I love the feeling of completing it and researching and doing it. It gives me a sense of accomplishment, and I think this point summarized what your work or career you should do depending on how you feel when you're doing your work. If it is something assigned and you just don't want to do it, it is difficult to get into the flow. But most of us would complete it for fear of getting fired. I wouldn't say that your career would definitely come with every task that you would feel voluntary to help, and it's difficult and it's worthwhile. So definitely there might be some things that you will not enjoy, but if majority of it is something that you enjoy, then that's great. So let's also talk a little bit on why I feel I need to explore and find hobbies outside of work. I do see many of my friends exploring hobbies like pottery or yoga outside of work. And it is interesting to see them being busy with it for a period of time before changing it or sticking with it. For me, I prefer activities that are in-house, that can be completed at home. For example, writing to share my thoughts or reading up on finance-related activities, and maybe watching videos or dramas. The activities that I do are all quite individual, where it can just be done with me alone. I do wonder if I should be out socializing more, but it's tough sometimes when I'm lazy, and I will need to explore what activities that can be done outside and might be more suited for me. I for sure know that my career is not my life. What about you?